Yeah, so, alright. We've been out of the Legion game for a little while. Like, new releases, we fell way behind.
Yeah, we fell way behind.
We missed Shadow Collective in its entirety. So, we're not even going to try to cover those. We are actually going to be covering the Battleforces.
Yeah, these are actually quite interesting.
Yeah, and so we got a lot to talk about with these. We're going to go over each one, the different rules for them, and, like, kind of have our discussions about why we think these might be a good thing and a bad thing. I'm your host, Isaiah.
I'm Chris.
And this is Locked Loop.
We do not plunge headlong into folly on the orders of a single madman. Marines, deploy the cannon! He's got nukes.
You're the last boots on the ground.
Position standby for defensive fire.
Jedi. Like my father before me. Ding! Ding! Vex on the field.
Attention on deck. This channel is now under military control.
So yeah, Battleforces. At first, first seeing him, I didn't know how to feel about him. I felt like the rules were getting a little too intense, rule-wise, with the different rules for them. I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess, but I see a benefit to these.
So, I do have a question. Are these supposed to be played like skirmish games?
No, so there's two different rule requirements. So you have skirmish rank requirements and normal game requirement. So essentially, when you build an army specifically this way, you get the special rules. So, for instance, we're going to be starting with the droids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so starting with the droids, it's Separatist Invasion. Really cool stuff. So the allowed units are Dooku, Grievous, and a T-Series tactical droid. No super tax for you guys. Operative, you can get Maul. Impatient Apprentice, not the, new one.
Mm-hmm.
Special Forces, Magna Guards. Magna Guards are good.
Yep.
Cores, you can only take B1s. No B2s, guys. I'm kind of sad. You can take Droidekas and Snap Riders, the tank, the battle AAT battle tank, and then unique upgrades allowed is Grievous's DT-57 Annihilator. Now, it's limiting this because you get special conditions with these. You limit your army so that you can do certain things.
Yeah.
And I think they did smart with this. So the rank requirements for the first one is each army must include a commander unit.
Mm-hmm.
Each army may include up to one operative. Only one operative. Special forces each may include 1 to 2 special forces units.
Which is understandable.
This is what's interesting. Each army must include 8 core units.
4 to 8. It says 4
to 8. Sorry, yeah. 4 to 8. So most people are going to be taking the 8s.
Mm-hmm.
Because droidekas aren't very good. Triple staffs are going to love this kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
They can take the triple staffs and still get battle forces.
Mm-hmm.
Must include 1 to 2 heavy units. So you must have an AAT in the mix. Because you're not allowed to take the snail tank. You have to take the AAT. I feel like that's pretty fun. Another rules that they made, which is smart with this one, is special rules was that the field commander keyword cannot be used.
Yeah.
So your tank cannot be your commander. You have to have a tactical droid or Dooku or Grievous.
You have to have a commander, pretty much.
I think this is smart. I think this feels very much like droids. Like Invasion Force of Droids coming down would have a lot of core, a lot of throwaway disposable core, their general, a few special forces, and a tank.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as list building goes, it definitely is going to be interesting seeing what tournaments allow battle forces to be like, oh yeah, we're taking these battle forces. Which means, yeah, we're taking the AAT, our general and everything, and we're just going to run at you with a bunch of B1s in the tank.
Yeah.
Now, what was special about the Battle Force and what I like is that they included new command cards only to be used with Battle Forces.
Yeah, they're special command cards.
They specify, this one specifies Separatist Invasion, which is this Battle Force.
Yeah.
It's 3 pip, Unstoppable Advance. 3 core unit, each friendly trooper unit that is issued an order using this card may perform a speed 1 move.
Uh-huh.
So that's only issuing this card. Now, this can do some interesting things.
Yeah.
Who was it I was talking with? I was talking rules with somebody, and it's or I think the Discord was just talking rules. The 801st Discord was just talking rules, and it came up that this is a trigger that happens at the same time as coordinate.
Yeah.
So everything gets an issue order, then this trigger hit. We're talking like Magic players. This trigger hits, and then the other trigger, but you get to choose which one goes first. So you can go, I issue to this one, it gets to move and then coordinate.
Yeah.
Or it gets to stay here, coordinate, and then move.
Mm-hmm.
It really will help with B1 lines.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, I'm like 3 core. Yeah, if you're gonna take 8, that's not a lot of movement there.
No.
Number 2 is the unrelenting assault. After a friendly core performs a ranged attack, if you spent 1 or more aim tokens, another friendly unit at range 1 to 2 may gain an aim token. So, coordinated fire.
That's pretty much what it is. It seems like.
Yeah, for core only, so you can't give it to your Magnus.
Actually, no. It says. Oh no.
Oh yeah, you can give it to the Magnus, but the Magna using it won't be able to distribute more.
No, you have to give it to core. However, if you can, it says you can distribute to any unit.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think we just got muddled in there. I mean, I don't think it's that strong.
No.
I think it's good. It definitely gets your aims bouncing around with a bunch of white dice. The aims are nice.
AI coordination. This one's interesting because it's a heavier support unit. That's all it issues to. But then they get issued a standby.
This is interesting. Yeah, so that gets a standby. You get to give your tank a standby. I know, and so it itself, the Battleforces box itself. Let's talk about this real quick. I'm pretty sure it comes with the AAT. So it comes with the AAT Droidicas, cores and Grievous. So this is what I'm kind of feeling like is good and bad. Okay. So, and I think we'll talk about this later, but that's a good selection of different guys if you need a bunch of cores, other than the fact you're assembling a bunch of B1s. Yeah. You know our feelings about those. We know the community's feelings about assembling B1s and our absolute hatred of it. Other than that, like, I feel like this is a decent battle force. It'd be fun to run. It's nothing I think like super tournament, like just seeing it. I'm not a big tournament player, but I don't see this like dominating Battle Forces dominating tournaments with this.
No.
You're losing what's making droids powerful right now, which is spiders.
Yeah.
And other things. You get Dooku and Grievous, which aren't the strongest commanders. You take the tactical droid, which also isn't the strongest commander. You lose their strongest commander and their strongest support unit.
Yeah, it just kind of makes them weak.
But you get those extra cores. So if you want to run down with an army of B1s, get that feeling of the master behind a bunch of minions, you get that. And I think it'll be fun. I think it's good, like, starter. And we'll talk about this entire bit later about how good and bad these battle forces are as a group. But while we're talking about the Clone Wars, we might as well talk about the GAR.
Yep.
Or the 501st. So let's start going through rules. During army building, you may include 1 ARC Trooper strike team unit for each non-strike ARC Trooper in your army, spending points as normal.
That's worded really odd.
It allows you to get 5 ARC Troopers. No, 6 ARC Troopers. 3 strike teams and 3 normal ones.
Huh.
Which ARC Troopers aren't super strong right now. GAR isn't super strong, like, with the units that they're provided. Okay, so this one, commander is allowed units. Anakin Skywalker, Rex, Clone Commander.
Yep. Core is phase 2s.
Phase 2s. Special forces are ARC Troopers. No strike teams. You're not allowed strike teams. But that's because you get the special.
Yeah.
That if you take the entire groups of ARC Troopers, you get the strike teams.
AT-RT and Barks.
Not super offensive.
No.
And then support LAAT.
Yep. And then the unique upgrades are Echo and 5s.
Yeah, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which also means, think about this. And we'll talk about newer releases in another episode, but Waxer and Boyle won't be allowed in this. Okay. Each army must include 1 to 2 commanders and operatives. At least 1 unit must be a commander rank. Okay, it's interesting, because consider this. It's saying it has to, but I'm like, Clone Rex doesn't have operative. None of these guys can be operatives.
Which I'm wondering, was it put in wrong? Because there are operatives.
Well, yeah, but their operative is Leia R2, which are not allowed in this. So it makes me wonder if these will be edited in the future.
I'm guessing so.
If we get like an Anakin Skywalker operative or a Rex operative.
Yeah.
I could see that happening where it's like, okay, they're now allowed this operative. Each core must include 1 to 4 core units. That is a major rules change.
Yeah.
1 core is all you need.
And for this.
Yeah, and phase 2s aren't super strong right now either because of their point costs. So only needing 1 core is fantastic because you don't need to take those. ARC Troopers aren't super strong right now either. But Special forces, it must include 1 to 4 special forces units. Okay, I was wrong about being able to take 6 special forces. No, you get 8. You get 8 you can take 8 entire squads of ARC troopers. Sorry, 4 entire squads of ARC troopers and then 4 strike teams.
That's really good.
That is a lot of power, especially as we're seeing like Gar get their points adjusted and Gar getting honestly, I see them getting buffed in the next patch.
Yeah. They're a little heavy-handed with
Yeah,
nerfs.
so I can see them getting a bunch of points adjustments, maybe some rule clarifications, which help them. Each army must include 1 to 2 support units.
Understandable.
ATRTs, throw in an ATRT. Each army may include up to 1 heavy unit, so you don't need to take the LAAT.
Yeah.
If you don't want to. But as far as just rank requirements go, that is fascinating.
That is really fascinating, yeah.
This is going heavy on the special forces.
Then again, the 501st was a special forces.
Yeah. So that many ARC troopers, though. That is a lot of ARC troopers.
That's a lot of ARC troopers. That's dangerous.
That's a lot of aims.
Yeah.
Because ARC troopers have tactical.
Yeah.
Put open pushes on them, and you have 8 aims running around every. Round.
Actually, you can't put O-push on them. I don't think, can you?
You can.
Oh.
You can take O-push.
Oh.
Yeah, they're nightmarish. They just need a point adjustments to be super.
Not a unique upgrade.
Oh yeah, it's not a unique upgrade. Okay. Let's talk cards. First one, leaders of the 501st. 3 special forces or 3 corps. Permanent friendly units at range 1 to 2 of a friendly Anakin Skywalker or a friendly clone Captain Rex gain Indomitable. They gain Indomitable. That's interesting, and it's permanent.
Yeah.
So it just gives them that entire. I'm just double checking Indomitable for Legion because I don't remember that keyword specifically.
I do know that's really good if you use it first turn.
Yeah. So it rolls. So it rolls red for suppression instead of white.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, now your clones aren't getting suppressed, which is really good.
Yeah. Play that first turn for your very first turn. Have it for the rest of the game. That's amazing.
Okay. Number 2, tactical planning.
So you got 2 support or special unit, special forces. After a friendly support or special forces unit performs an attack against a unit that has a face-up order token, shuffle that token back into its order pool.
So that's decent if you're running a bunch of them, like your sniper teams. We've seen this. This is the we've seen this before. I can't remember which. It was an Imperial thing. It was like covert ops or something like that. One of the weird generic ones where you get to shuffle them back in. I know because I abuse this with the ATST, where I'm like, oh yeah, I have 3 guns with maximum range, got them all down.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is, I have sniper teams. My sniper teams are gonna knock your orders back in because it's just performing an attack. If they miss, if they suppress off, it's just going right in. I think that's an all right card. They're 1 pip.
Lead from the front.
When building a command hand, treat this card as though it has 2 pips. After a friendly commander is issued an order by this card, choose 3 friendly units within range of the commander. Each of the chosen unit gains an aim or a dodge.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's alright. I mean, it goes into the token stuff. Honestly, I think these are some weaker cards overall, because...
I think the 3 pip is the best one out of all of them.
Oh yeah, lead from the front is great. The one benefit to... Not lead from the front, sorry, leaders of the 501st is great. I think one benefit to lead from the front is when you're building your hand, it's treated as a 2 pip. Which means you get 3 1 pips.
Ooh.
If you're running right, you're running mechanized incursion. No, that's not that one. The Gars, I can't remember what it was. Their version of mechanized incursion, their generic 1 pip. Anakin's 1 pip or Rex's 1 pip. And so 3 1 pips is nice. It gives you some advantage.
Oh yeah.
Overall, I feel like right now this is really weak because you're going into the weakest units in the Gar right now.
Yep.
ARC Troopers Phase 2's Rex, Barks. You don't get the Saber. You get the LAAT. So I'm like, overall, the unit selection is really weak right now. They introduced this with the nerfs the way they are, and they know they were, which means it leads me to believe that these units
are getting buffed.
Are going to be seeing the buff. I can see ARC Troopers seeing a buff. I can see Phase 2's Rex definitely.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, and Echo and Five specifically also receiving that point decrease. So I'm like, okay, this is really weak right now, but it's also really, it could see a lot of improvement just with some point tweaks.
Yeah.
Like, leads me to believe that maybe full ARC troopers are going to get a serious point decrease, so that you could take 8 of them and pack them.
Yeah.
Overall, I like this. I like where they're going with this with the 501st. Special Forces, heavy support units, very little heavy, mobile. I can see some fun going on with this.
Oh, yeah.
And it comes with a bunch of ARC troopers, Core, and Anakin. And it doesn't come with an LAAT. So I'm like, okay, I think, and I'll talk about this later, but because of how Battle Forces are natured, I feel like they're going to be starter kits.
Yeah.
They're going to be seen as starter kits. Because they're full armies in there.
Yeah, they're full armies, and it's actually a great assortment for the most part.
Yeah. So I'm like, honestly, I feel bad for any GAR player that jumps into this because they're going to get tabled a lot until the nerfs, until the buffs come.
Yep.
Okay. That was the Clone Wars. Let's talk about the Galactic Civil War, starting with Blizzard Force. Okay. You want to go special rules?
Special rules. Blizzard Force Battle is part of the Galactic Empire. The field commander keyword cannot be used.
That's smart. That is really smart.
Also because the only unique upgrade allowed is General Weiss.
Okay, yeah, that is really smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so commanders allowed units. Darth Vader, General Veers, Imperial Officer. Operative, Vader. Core, Snowtroopers. 0 to 2 Stormtroopers. Which is interesting. They're like, okay, you have to, you can only take Stormtroopers, but you can't load your entire army up with them. You have to take some Snowtroopers. Support speeder bikes, E-Web. Although the E-Webs aren't super strong in here because they lose their ability to combo off with the Shore Troopers, because you don't get Shore Troopers.
Yeah.
Heavies?
ATST.
This is where the fun begins. Now, okay, that list is very restrictive because the best core is the Shore Trooper.
Yeah,
by far. You're losing the best support as well. I believe it, which was, what was it? No, you don't lose. No one really runs supports.
You lose the tank.
Well, yeah, that's a heavy. You don't get the you don't get the Gav, but you do get.
That's what I was talking about. The Gav.
You get the ATST, which I'm an ATST guy, so you know.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that. Commander and operative. Each army must include 1 to 2 commanders and operatives.
So you have to take a commander and an operative, or 2 commanders.
Either 1 commander or 1 commander and an operative, or 2 commanders, because it says 1 to 2 commander and operative units. It's trying to stop you from going officer Vader.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people would do. Or Veers officer Vader, because you only get 2, and at least 1 must be a commander. It must include 3 to 6 cores. The support is really fun though.
1 to 4 support units.
Forget triple speeders. We're running quad speeders.
Oh god.
Or we're running quad E-Webs. That could be
I heard you like gun lines.
I do like a good gun line. I like my E-Webs too. So each army may include up to 2 heavy units. I mean,
double ATST anyone?
Well, double ATST, but it's also, you don't have to take it if you don't want it.
Yeah.
Other versus like the droids, where it's just like, you have to take the AAT. This is no. You may take it. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where interesting stuff happened because we got new stormtroopers.
Yep. Let's see. We got the heavy response unit.
Yes, we get the heavy response unit, which changed something up from the core. They are 3 instead of 4 for the standard stormtrooper. They're elite stormtroopers carrying an array of armaments. They still only roll white. Sorry. Flexible response. This unit must equip 2 heavy person upgrades. Okay, 2 heavy person upgrades.
Flamethrowers, anyone?
No. Rocket launcher, DLT.
Oh.
DLT, T-21. 2 heavy. These are stormtroopers. They are not snowtroopers.
Right.
But you get 2 heavies. That is powerful. They're also only 30 points.
Oh, yeah. That's
so
cheap.
They're cheap. Precise 1, of course. Unhindered. No difficult terrain. and special. It can only be taken in Blizzard Force.
Yep, that makes sense.
Now, these are some interesting stormtroopers. I like where this is going with these storms.
Yeah.
I feel like they would be all. I think they're testing something out
Oh yeah, I think they are.
because I'm seeing this. I'm going. I'm not seeing anything there. I'm not seeing like anything super special other than the 2 heavy person.
Mhm.
I think Battle Forces is trying to see if 2 heavy personnel on a card will break it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're testing that.
Yeah.
With the community, and I'm like, okay, I could see it going really well, or I could see it going really poorly. Okay, let's talk their cards.
Let's see, we got
Debark for ground assault.
each friendly core trooper unit that issued an order using this card gains spur, and their weapons gain suppressive.
Let's talk about that for a little bit.
That's loaded. That's a loaded card.
You're taking snowtroopers, so they're normally speed 1. Now you've got speed 2 snowtroopers running at you
With suppressive.
with suppressive weapons, with flamethrowers, with ion guns. You've got snowtroopers running at you. Plus they have steady, so they're like spur out, blow you to pieces. They've got Vader on their side,
Mhm.
so they'll never panic.
Mhm.
If you're running Commander Vader, they'll never panic.
Mhm.
They're running at you, and that is interesting. That is some. Not to mention, if you're running those stormtroopers, you have speed 3 stormtroopers running at you.
That's scary.
Yeah, I mean that's a good card, and it's only 3 units, so it's you issued anything.
Mhm.
Which I'm kind
You
of
can also have a speed 3 ATST.
no, it only specifies core gain the
All right.
spur, which I'm fine with. I do not need a speed 3 ATST running around out there.
Even for you, that's a little much.
It's a little much. Okay, overwhelming barrage.
Once this round, at the end of activation during a friendly after the end of activation of a friendly commander unit, it may perform an attack using the following weapon.
4 to anything.
4 to anything, 4 black, blast 1, immune deflect, and suppressive.
You forgot one keyword.
Beam 1.
That is scary.
Yeah.
Because it's blast immune. It's blast, so there's no cover, so it's always going to be 4. Surge to hit. Beam 1, which means you're hitting 2 units with this.
Oh yeah.
That is concerning, especially because you're running an ATST already, and if you're running Veers, you're getting orbitals like his.
That's a lot of
You can get some that's multiple turns of a commander goes and then fires at range anything.
Yeah.
Because if you're running Veers, you get the maximum firepower,
Mhm.
and this is a 2-pip, so you get both, and it doesn't take up that slot.
I mean,
Yeah.
oh,
So you're turn 1ing maximum firepower, turn 2 overwhelming barrage, or vice versa. That is a lot of hits going out of nowhere at max range. You're taking out strike teams. This thing is a core. I mean, this thing is a special forces killer.
Yeah.
Because blast,
Mhm.
no cover. Their 1-pip is unrelenting fire.
enemy units cannot remove more than 1 suppression token during their rally step.
Yeah, that's concerning.
I think this is this far. These cards are the best ones in the set.
But of course, the Empire would have the best ones so far.
Yeah.
It is concerning at how good these are. I'm glad they're only in the Blizzard Force. They're not like normal, because these things would be terrifying.
Oh, this would like break the Empire.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of why we're like. That's why when we're looking through, we're like, the units they selected, they're still kind of weak.
No, it's because their cards are so good.
The cards are fantastic. The new Stormtroopers, the Unrelenting Fire, their command cards are great. Honestly, I feel like this is going to be really fun to play and to play against.
Yeah.
Better bring your Inspire. Okay, we've got one other one to cover real quick. It is the Rebels.
Yep. The Echo Base Defenders.
Yep. Of course, special rules. Field commander cannot be used.
Yep.
That's been something.
That's been a common thing.
Yeah, that's a common thing. No field commanders.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take the allowed units?
Allowed units: Leia, Luke. So this is for commanders: Leia, Luke, Han, and the Rebel officer. Operatives: Chewie, R2, and C3 PO.
Yep.
Core Rebel veterans and their emplacement, the Mark II medium blaster trooper. Support laser cannons and Tauntaun riders. Heavy is the airspeeder with wedge allowed.
So you like your veterans.
I love my veterans.
You like your airspeeder.
I like my airspeeder.
You like your Tauntauns.
I can run the battle force.
This is your army because you get the special rules.
Oh! Each army must include 1 to 4 commander or operative cards. Do I hear 4 commanders?
Do I hear Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie?
The dream team?
All commanders. Each army must include
3 to 6 core.
3 to 6 core. That's normal. They didn't change
Must
it.
include 1 to 4.
4 Tauntauns.
4 Tauntauns.
Quad Tauns. Triple Tauns were mean enough. Now we're running quad. Each army may include up to 2 heavy units.
Double air.
Oh man, that'll be fun to build. So
One airspeeder.
yeah, so you're like
No,
rebel officer commander, then you're like 4 Tauntauns, 2 airspeeders, 3 core.
Oh, I'm gonna love this.
That is nasty and it'll be fun. Okay, so
Cards.
3 cost.
Hold at all costs. Hold at any cost, sorry. 3 units. Each friendly gains 1 aim token. Oh, and each friendly emplacement trooper gains 1 standby.
So this is interesting. Because FD cannons are considered emplacements, and so are the your detachments. What's fascinating
It says
about this,
each. It doesn't even say the command. It says each.
yeah, it doesn't rely on commands at all. It's just they immediately all gain standbys. They immediately all gain aims. Your heavy blasters immediately get an aim and a standby. No, that is a lot to put on a 3-pip.
No, here's what you do with this.
They have Sentinel already.
They have Sentinel already. So what you do is you take a couple turns, get them into place, and then play that card.
And now you've got standbys, aims. You're completely loaded for your.
You're loaded, and if anything moves in that range, they're screwed.
I'm hearing gun lines.
Yes, this is how you do Rebel gun line.
We've been looking for a way to get Rebel gun lines working. I think Echo-based defenders is how we do it. Then we throw the Tauntauns into the mix. Okay, 2-pip Courage of the Rebellion.
Each friendly trooper unit that is issued an order using this card may recover.
Okay, that's fine. Like recovering is really nice. It's just 2 units. So that one I think isn't the strongest card. Delaying tactics. At the end of the command phase, your opponent must choose one of their non-core units.
Non-commander units.
Non-commander units that has a face-up order token, if able, and return it to their order pool. I mean, it's not super strong for a 1-pip.
No, but if they give their ATST and their commander, they have to.
Well, with the amount of like HQ uplinks out there, it's very hard because of that kind of stuff. You're gonna have other like, sure, you can burn down an HQ uplink. That card's, I'm sorry, but this card is completely worthless against droids.
Yeah,
because they're just like, oh yeah, this bad.
No, but then you take Han, and then you sorry about the mess.
Yeah, so there's a number you can do here. The command card, the strongest one, is by far hold at any cost. Especially because you get to combo the cards with all the other ones.
Yeah.
Leia's, Han's. Honestly, I like this a lot.
I know.
This gives a new way to play Rebels. Because you're no longer like completely focusing on your heroes. Because Rebels have always been a heavy hero hammer team.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this. This is my style of Rebels. I very much like this.
Oh yeah. I'm like, this is gonna be fun. It's like, okay, yeah, you get your veterans now do something with their emplacements because the emplacements get standbys for free.
Yeah.
Also 4 Tauntauns. I'm just thinking about how much of a terror 4 Tauntauns is.
Quad Tauntauns? Oh.
3 Tauntauns is a mess. 4 Tauntauns is a nightmare. I have no words for this. I have no words for how much of a mess this is going to be.
If you think about it, though, with how the Empire is, this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, like Courage of the Rebellion, hold at any cost. Like there's a lot of fun that this is going to be. You're gonna see a lot of rush down lists with Tauntauns.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna see like airspeeders come out into the fray.
I think this is exactly what we're talking about. The list for this is going to be Quad Tauntaun double airspeeder 3 core. and rebel officer.
Maybe. That's one list. The other one is full FD cannon, full veterans with emplacements.
Yeah.
And then some tauntauns. No, you wouldn't get tauntauns. Because, okay, here's the thing. So, 1 to 4 support units. FD cannons are support units. 4 FD cannons, 3 emplacements.
That's 7 things with standbys.
You force breakthrough, they're running at you.
Yeah.
That's 7 things, all with Sentinel.
Waiting for you to come towards them.
Waiting for you to come at them. That is scary. I feel like the list building with this is so much fun because you're breaking away from the normal bean hero hammers. You're like, we finally get our core and our supports to shine.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to play against this and play with the droid stuff and the Gar stuff.
Do we have a timeline for when this is coming out?
September. But the official stuff is already out. So if we wanted to print off cards, you could.
Yeah.
There's no we wouldn't be able to use them in tournaments, but if we're not normally playing in tournaments with this stuff, this is gonna be fun for Monday night. So we just print off the cards because we don't need to buy the entire Battleforces. And this is going into the next part.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna need more tauntauns anyway. Especially to play the list I want to.
Yeah. So here's the problem. And this is why I'm going, okay, maybe a different route and printing off the cards and everything is the right place. Because we need to talk about the next bit. That we talked about the good of these. Now let's talk about some of the bad. They're $150 a box.
Whew.
Yeah, that is expensive.
Yeah, that is.
Sure, it's
this is. I will say this is a fully kitted out army with heroes and everything.
Yeah, so these boxes are full starter sets.
Yeah.
Fantastic if you're trying to get people in. But it's still core sets are still going to be a little bit cheaper, but you don't get the diversity of units. You won't get that much diversity of units. So it's okay with the cores. So if you're specifically you want to run Tauntauns, or specifically you want to run Blizzard Force on any of these, I specifically want to run these. Cool, you can pick that up. It's a great way for somebody to get started and have a full 800-point army ready.
Yeah.
Especially because I've seen it released. There was it's a entire materials box for Legion. They're $10. They have tokens and all the tokens and everything that you need, and essentially all the tokens, which is really nice. And you could just get some rage finders if you wanted to. Core's still the way to start, but this is another way that you could get started.
This is another way to start if you have a specific force you want to run.
Yeah, so I'm okay, good starter. The price is a little high.
It is
$100. I guess if you actually take the numbers, I think I broke it down. I'm the numbers are worth it. If you're going just if you went box by box and just bought them instead.
It's also, I think, because what's course it's $100, isn't it?
Yeah. So you're spending probably less for one person, because if
what you're gonna have to do is, especially with the rebels, you're gonna have to buy an airspeeder, Tauntaun, Leia.
Yeah. So you'd have to buy veterans if you want
veterans, Chewie.
You'd want to, if you wanted to run all of that, you'd have to buy those.
Yeah, personally,
this sets it up. I don't think Han and Chewie are all included in that. I'm pretty sure they all came with one commander, which was Leia came with that one. Vader, Anakin, and Grievous are the commanders that came with those. But then it came with a different core unit, so you got the veterans and phase 2s. So I'm okay, yeah, that makes sense. That is really nice. I feel like this is a good way to get started.
Yeah.
Or to bring somebody in if you're already playing that faction, they're pick it up and you're cool, I got some extra stuff for you. It'll be fun. I like these. I like the release of these, and I like that they're doing something different. I especially like that they were smart enough that on their design they included all the cards, which means probably I'm gonna have to look up the rulings on these, but I'm pretty sure tournament wise, they are just gonna allow you to print the cards off. And they did that for rapid reinforcements, remember?
Yeah.
Which I'm already seeing more rapid reinforcement style stuff. We're getting to the Armada talk here with rapid reinforcements, but that's what they did. They released a PDF with the cards, and you just printed them off.
Yeah.
I kind of think that's what they're allowing here, which is why these documents have all the cards on them, is so that you can print them off and just play.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
It's
great.
It's a really good way because then they're able to experiment with it and get to know how it works.
Well, it's not just that. For instance, us, we own a bunch of veterans, we own a bunch of Tauntauns, we own the Battleforces already for our armies. essentially.
Yeah.
We don't need to buy an entire new kit
Mhm.
for this. We just have to print off the cards,
Mhm.
which is great. And that's how it could be done. That's a great way to save some money. I don't think tournaments would really say much. I think like the more competitive ones. I don't think these things would be taken to competitive tournaments anyway.
It might be. Some of these lists are actually really good.
Some of those could make some spicy lists. The Rebels make a spicy list. But overall, I'm like, I don't think they're super they'll be somewhat competitive, but I don't feel like they'll be the super competitive winning the tournaments.
Yeah.
I
don't know if you play that Rebels list right, you might win.
The triple speeder bike could also win. Sorry, the quad speeder bike could also win.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be those corner case lists where they want these because they're already running a specific strategy.
Mhm.
They're already and this just aids them. I'm like, yeah, triple speeder bikes wins a lot of lists. Triple steps wins a lot of games. So quad speeders could do even better.
Mhm.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And so these themselves are going to be really cool to play and really cool to play against.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we're going to see a lot more stuff like this, and I'm really happy with that.
The other thing I like about this is this allows like really interesting build crafting.
Yes, that's what I've been like. I complain about this with Armada all the time. All the lists are the same. They're all hyper competitive tournament lists. This lets Legion take on that more casual feel with specific battle forces.
Yeah.
And get creative with your list building because you're limited.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is going to be a lot of fun. I feel like they did a great job with these battle forces. Prices are a little high for me, but battle forces wise,
with what's in them, like all the extra stuff.
Yeah.
You were right, it does even out. But for like established players already, it's not worth it.
Which is why I think most people just print off the cards.
Yeah.
Which is fine by me too.
Yeah.
And if that was their intention, great on them. Especially everything that's going on, I feel like it's great for us to have that option. Okay. I think that's all we have as far as Battle Forces goes, and everything that we're talking about this week. So, if you're enjoying our content, I mean, you've listened this far already.
But why are you still here if you haven't,
If you don't enjoy our conversations and our talking, so follow us wherever you get your podcasts.
Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
And of course, check out our Discord, YouTube, Twitch. Just check us out. We're Locked Loot. We'll include links in the description.
I do raids every Saturday or so. And
I try to stream at least once a week, usually different games. I think we're doing Squadrons this week, or Battlefront 2 this week. New Battlefront 2. So
the one that everybody's like, lol, dead game. But it's like,
yeah,
it's
still
so much fun.
Yeah, I digress. Just check us out. Follow us. It really helps the numbers. It really helps us grow. And of course, share us with your friends. Get some other people listening.
Get them into Legion too.
Oh yeah, get them into Legion. Convert them to the evils of tabletop wargaming.
Just don't introduce them to Warhammer.
No.
We don't need to take out loans.
I'm your host Isaiah.
I'm Chris.
We're logging out.